Well, I think it's a really critical thing, and in Sky, what we've done is that we've put in place a layer of engagement specialists, effectively, in recruitment. This doesn't have to sit in Sky; it could sit with a partner company, and the reason I think it's important is because it's really difficult to meet both current and future challenges for the business if you don't really have a good grasp or understanding of the business. And by putting this engagement layer in place, which could feel like a little bit of a luxury, what we've been able to do is to start to build relationships in partnership with business HR, who obviously have more regular conversations around sort of broader people agenda, but specifically around future talent needs, workforce needs. We found that if you've got recruitment specialists in there, then they can help the business to put together the right thinking in order to make really good decisions. So we work with ManpowerGroup in a couple of ways, actually, both for some permanent recruitment, which is in support of our volume recruitment. So in Sky, that means the people who work in our contact centres, in our retail estate, and also our home service engineers who call on customers in their own homes. And Manpower help us with all of that. It's around 4,000 hires a year, and they provide us with pretty much an end-to-end process in support of that. Manpower also provide a service to Sky for recruiting and finding and recruiting temporary workers through their Experis part of the organisation, and provide that support to the business. Built really good relationships with line managers, and so are able to sort of service more of our short-term needs. So this brings us back round to the how Manpower make a contribution to total talent management in Sky. And although the recruitment of permanent people and servicing our temporary requirements is important, it's kind of the blend of some of those things sometimes that we found really productive, and where we've needed to be flexible. So we've obviously got contracts in place, but where we found that we've worked well with Manpower is where we've had projects where perhaps what we need is a blend of permanent and temporary staff, where we've been able to sort of pull both sides of the operation together. But also where we've needed to move really, really quickly, and sometimes in specialist projects where we're trying to do something new, and we would involve Manpower from the outset in planning and taking some of those new ideas through to fruition. Well, for me, it's really about getting a rich perspective across the business. I think previously, where our teams were probably more responsive than they are now, just immediately responding to short-term needs, you never really stand back. But the approach we're taking now means that we are standing back, and we can start to see where we can make better decisions in terms of how we actually source resource for the business. So we can start to see synergies across, well as just as looking sort of into silos. And I think the other thing is that because we understand we've got a number of suppliers, but working with Manpower on both a large amount of volume hiring and across our temporary resource means that we can often flex resource and be much more responsive to the business, because we understand the capabilities of the suppliers that we work with.